Coming up on OU Nightly, we're tracking rain chances throughout this week. I'll have what you need to know.
Plus, the state election board is sued. What the Department of Justice is suing for. And why some black students on campus say they don't feel seen by the university. This is OU Nightly.
If you have any outdoor plans this weekend, temperatures are looking warm. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Kevin Daniel.
Good evening. I'm Caroline Kramer. And while the sun is out today, it sounds like a cold front is on the way. OU Nightly's Carlin McCreary joins us in the studio. Carlin?
That's right, y'all. We had an extra beautiful day across campus today. The sun was out, the temperatures were warm, and they're still on the warmer side out there right now. We're sitting at 80 degrees here in Norman, some surrounding areas in the 80s. So, I mean, it's extra warm. We're not close to record breaking. We're just about a few degrees shy of that, but still, we're going to be extra warm over the next few hours or so. If you do have any evening plans, you won't need a coat, you won't need a jacket, anything like that, because it's going to be comfortable outside. Something that hasn't been comfortable, though, are those allergies, and they're on the extra high end, but we've got a lot to talk about coming up. I'll have all the details.
Carlin, thank you. And with spring on the way, severe weather comes with it. OU Nightly's Gracie Steinbrink joins us with the steps you need to take when a storm hits Norman.
Caroline, it's almost March in Oklahoma, and that means severe weather could be right around the corner. And if you're a student who lives on campus, there is a plan in place. But what do you do when that storm hits? The university tells us when a tornado warning is issued, you will receive a text from OU Rave, and you should immediately seek shelter in your building. All residence halls have storm shelters you can scan into with your OU ID. As you shelter, keep an eye on weather alerts. Now, for students living on campus, resident assistants are on the front lines during severe weather. We spoke with Jabez Johnson, who lives in Walker Tower, to see if he feels prepared.
At face value, I really do think OU is absolutely ready. I feel pretty safe. I hope that everyone who lives here feels safe, and if not, let's talk about that so we make sure you're safe.
There are also emergency response procedures posted in the elevator lobbies in each resident hall. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Gracie. And reactions are pouring in from state officials after the Federal Department of Justice sued the state over voter roll lists.
Oklahoma is one of several states facing this lawsuit. This comes after the DOJ claimed the state failed to provide the department with a full list of Oklahoma voters. This list would include personal information like names, dates of birth, and even social security numbers.
In a new statement, Attorney General Gentner Drummond says Oklahoma will, quote, fully cooperate with the DOJ's investigation, while a spokesperson for Governor Kevin Stitt says Oklahoma leads the nation in election transparency.
OU Nightly reached out to the state election board for the comments, but they said they have no comment at this time, but added they are, quote, bound to protect voters' personal information, like driver's license and social security numbers.
And looking ahead, next month will be the final month to change your party affiliation. You can change your party on the Oklahoma Voter Portal website. The deadline to change is March 31st. And still to come, a former U.S. president answers questions about Jeffrey Epstein from the House Oversight Committee. We'll have just what he has to say.
And it's Black History Month with campus organizations hosting events, but something is missing. We'll have that when we return.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
No, no, no. Turn it down. Turn it off. Get a hand. Lose the bells and whistles. Drive without distractions.
Back to OU Nightly as Black History Month comes to an end. Some black students on campus say they've noticed something is missing.
OU Nightly's Whitney Smith attended a BSA event to learn more. Whitney?
As many may know, the University of Oklahoma sends out mass emails reminding students about important events on campus. But students have noticed there have been no emails sent about Black History Month. There hasn't even been a social media post. OU's Black Student Association is doing its best to showcase Black students and Black History Month, like this event, Taste of Soul. But students would still like to be acknowledged by the university.
So throughout this entire week, we have been putting on events. We've called it BSA Week, but it is the kickoff to Black History Month, so we've had many events each day, just providing resources to Black students and providing community to Black students.
BSA Vice President Jada Higgins says they're moving ahead with more Black History Month events, even if the university itself is not holding events for Black History Month.
I feel like it's very troubling and saddening that the university doesn't take time to recognize us. I feel like we have a very good journalism team, media team. We see the protests, we see a lot of the different things going on in the university, but they haven't really taken time to showcase us, our history. And I feel like it's a little crazy considering Black people have been an integral part to the building of the United States, and I feel like we should definitely get time in our month.
While some students may not feel seen by the university, they know they have a community within BSA.
Our president of BSA, he calls us family, so it's not like an acquaintance type thing. Like, we're all closely together, and then like they're very active on social media and posting their events everywhere so that people are aware about them. And I just think it just starts like that. Like, we're a family, we're a community, and we're not just people who get together every once in a while.
BSA encourages you to attend their events to meet the community and become a part of their family. Reporting for OU Nightly, Whitney Smith.
Whitney, thank you. On the national stage, Bill Clinton testifies in the Jeffrey Epstein probe by Congress. Matthew Carson has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
Bill Clinton testifies in front of Congress today over his connections with Jeffrey Epstein. In a social media post from this morning, Clinton said, quote, "I saw nothing and did nothing wrong." Hillary Clinton testified yesterday, and neither have been accused of a crime. And the U.S. military used a laser system to shoot down a drone flown by U.S. Customs. The FAA temporarily banned flights over Fort Hancock, Texas as a result. This comes 2 weeks after military lasers in El Paso forced the temporary shutdown of the El Paso airport. And the U.S. and Iran left another round of negotiations without making a deal. Both countries claim they made progress, but Iran has not indicated that they will slow their enrichment of uranium. The U.S. is continuing to maintain a strong military presence in the area. Kevin, Caroline, back to you.
Thank you, Matthew. Still ahead on OU Nightly, one man proves dreams don't retire.
And in this case, an 81-year-old man is ready to step onto the plate and chase his dreams. Find out after the break.
And the first week of March looks to be a rainy one. I'll have your full forecast and what you need to know as we go throughout this weekend and this week coming up.
Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. you'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
Welcome back, y'all, and happy Friday. We had such a beautiful day outside. It's the type of day you want to roll all of your windows down in your car and listen to music at full blast, and it still looks like that right now. Campus Cam, sunny skies, a lot of people out and about on Highway 9 right now. Current temperatures, though, we're sitting right at 79 degrees, so we are well above our average temperature for this time of year, and it's extra dry outside. That's something else to note. Those winds are light, and it's warm, and it's dry. So as we go over the next few hours or so, we're not looking at anything as far as reflectivity goes. We have one more dry day today and for parts of tomorrow, but we're going to see some rain in the forecast as we go over the next few days or so. We are tracking a cold front that's going to make its way through as we go into Sunday, and especially cooling our temperatures by the time we get to Monday. That high by the time we get to Monday, 58 degrees. So we are going to cool down a little, but we're still going to be above that normal temperature for this time of year. But otherwise, I want you to look at the temperatures as we go into tomorrow, Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We are in the low to mid 70s, and even tomorrow we have that chance to see 80 degrees again for some parts of the state. The bad news, though, is we do have rain in the forecast as we go over the next few days, especially towards the middle of the work week this week. We are tracking that chance to see some scattered showers on Saturday and Sunday, but by the time we get to the end and middle of next week, that's when we're looking for that extra high chance to see some precipitation in the forecast. So for tomorrow afternoon, you can see we're going to stay clear for the most part as we go throughout the afternoon hours. Right around midnight towards our Sundays when we could see some of those showers and storms pop up south of I-40, especially near the Red River. But as we go throughout the rest of Sunday morning, you can see those showers do start to become more widespread into eastern parts of the state, and then those clouds will continue throughout parts of Sunday. So we're just going to be dodging those showers here and there throughout the weekend, but we will have some more rainfall possible as we continue throughout the rest of the week. So looking at that national forecast for you, there's that cold front that's going to make its way through on Sunday. Cooler temperatures by the time we get to Monday and bring those extra rain chances into the forecast towards the beginning of this week. But here's a system that I really want to talk about that's going to set up as we go into Tuesday. You can see it's a stronger system that's setting up and could bring some potential for severe weather or even strong to severe storms. So we're still a few days out. I want to note that. And it's something we're going to keep an eye on and monitor over the next few days. Still, a great reminder to have your severe weather preparedness plans as March does begin next week. So make sure to remember that. Here's where we're looking at that as of now. This is still subject to change. Overall, though, we will see rain in the forecast as we start out March, which is much needed because a lot of areas of Oklahoma are still in higher levels of drought. Look at our state right now. Every single area of Oklahoma has some level of drought, especially in south central Oklahoma, here in Cleveland County, included in that extreme level of drought. You could see southwestern Oklahoma and even up into areas like Miami as well. So something to note. But as I said, we're tracking rain in the forecast as we go over the next few days and warmer temperatures, especially by the time we get to next week. That's what we're looking at. Back to you guys.
Carlin, thanks. Now, most people slow down in their 80s, but one Missouri man is just getting warmed up.
At 81 years old, Rob Harrelson has one big dream: to play for the Savannah Bananas. After years of watching the team's over-the-top games, Harrelson decided to swing for the fences and sent in a tryout video.
Now he's hoping the team will go bananas and give him a shot, and honestly, we're rooting for him too. From one ball team to another, OU softball is off to a hot start to the season.
And they're showing no signs of slowing down. Find out what record lasted over 50 years until it was broken last night. Coming up next in sports.
Winter is upon us, and every Oklahoman knows that that means unpredictable freezing temperatures. One of the main concerns with freezing temperatures is the damage they can cause to your home or business should they cause your water pipes to freeze over. Older homes, especially those without proper insulation or that have basements or crawl spaces with exposed pipes, are particularly susceptible to this. Here is Rachel Croft, City of Norman Water Treatment Plant Manager, to show you the proper steps you can take to prevent your pipes from freezing.
The good news is you don't need to run a whole lot of water in order to combat freezing from your pipes. Here's how you do it. Another thing that you can do to help is to open your cabinet doors to make sure that warm air throughout your home is getting to your faucet pipes. But you want to make sure to remove any harmful chemicals that any small children or pets could have the ability to reach.
Following these steps can help save money on your water bill and help to conserve Norman's water supply.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hello and welcome to Big Friday Sports. I'm Hunter Cornejo, joined at the desk alongside Chris Holman.
When it comes to big sports here at OU, it doesn't get much bigger than OU softball. OU Nightly sports reporter Peyton Davis is live outside Love's Field with some Sooner dominance from OU's game against Alabama State. Peyton?
Yep, I'm outside Love's Field where OU softball has had their home opening weekend. And last night they took on Alabama State, and man, those Sooner bats ignited. 13 different players with at least a hit each. Game 1 versus Alabama State, Gabby Garcia up to the plate after a Kendall Wells 2-run homer smashes it 231 feet to left field, putting the Sooners up 5-0. Second inning, it's Wells ready to go yard, and boom, gets her second homer in 2 innings, already her 12th this year. The game ends after the 5th inning, 32-0 for OU's 10th run rule win of the season.
We try to do everything very respectfully. It's just hard when the score starts to move a little bit that you just can't tell somebody don't hit it hard. It was really probably one of the top to bottom best offensive games I've seen in a long time, if I've ever seen one like this.
The Sooners just finished up their game against Sam Houston State. The score 13-3. Next up here in about 45 minutes, OU will face Alabama State again and then round out the weekend tomorrow with Sam Houston and Sunday versus Southeastern Louisiana. Last night's win improves the score 15-2 for their record this season. Reporting from outside Love's Field, I'm Peyton Davis, OU Nightly.
Thank you, Peyton. And moving on to baseball, Skip Johnson and the Sooners are currently in action against Gonzaga. And it's Friday, which means just one thing. Sooners ace Cam Johnson is going to be on the mound. And so far through the second inning, he has registered 2 strikeouts in the 2 innings of work, allowing 0 hits. Offensively for the Sooners, they have Dayton Taki, who in the bottom of the first inning homered to left field, his second of the year, putting the Sooners up 6-0 against Gonzaga.
Last night was senior night for OU women's basketball, and OU Nightly sports reporter Kevin Daniel has more on how the team showed out for their seniors and what could be their last game in the LNC.
Well, the Sooners get to celebrate senior night here in the LNC with a 89-44 win over the Arkansas Razorbacks. 6 Sooners scored in the double digits, but even with all the balloons and picture frames, they know their season isn't over yet.
SEC isn't over. We still got one more game, and then we have the tournament, and then obviously the March Madness tournament. So we got a lot of basketball ahead of us, and obviously we couldn't overlook Arkansas tonight, and so we got a big game obviously coming up with Missouri to finish it out. So we can't overlook anyone in this conference. I think we've learned that lesson. So we'll celebrate tonight, love on each other tonight, and then tomorrow it's back at it for practice.
We can fall down and get up and go forward because we can roll up our sleeves, we can work. We are not afraid of that. We're not afraid to put a smile on our face. We're not afraid to fail. And you can tell that these 3 women have been a huge part of that keeping the locker room together. And then, obviously being pretty good basketball players as well. They just continue to understand the older they get, the more they understand that legacy is more than winning basketball games. And they want tomorrow to be better than today. And that's what this group is all about. And I think it's just been huge. And the level of play obviously has kind of gone up. And also, so is the locker room. And that's what we need.
Well, the Sooners will end their season with a trip to Missouri, and after that, it's on to the SEC tournament. But what everyone's waiting for is what they'll do in March Madness. But for now, from the Lloyd Noble Center, Kevin Daniel, OU Nightly.
Thank you, Kevin. On to Porter Moser and the men's squad, fresh off a 12-point win at home over Auburn on Tuesday, where 4 Sooners scored at least 10 points. The Sooners head down to the Bayou to take on 15-13 LSU Tigers at 5 p.m. tomorrow night. As long as one Sooner is playing efficient basketball, OU head coach Porter Moser likes his team's chances.
About as upset as I've been at this group is that we didn't play the right way, and didn't move the ball, share shot selection, and it cost us that game. I thought we played right the whole game, spaced it. We were getting the pick and roll, and obviously the obvious is when Mo's playing like that, and how aware and in tune he is, it just changes us.
There's a former deputy taking over campus, and it has nothing to do with the law.
We'll tell you more about the new face of OU athletics and his journey that brought him to the Crimson and Cream. This and more in Big Friday Sports after the break. Don't go.
Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here are some water conservation tips you can try. In the kitchen, collect the excess water you use to rinse produce and use it to water houseplants. Also, soak your pots and pans instead of letting the water run while you scrape them. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
Sports, I'm OU Nightly meteorologist Cole Turgowski. I'm currently outside Love's Field where the Sooners are preparing for their second game of the day against Alabama State. So if you're planning on coming to this one, you'll probably miss first pitch. But if you don't have any weekend plans, you may want to bring the Crimson and sunscreen for the doubleheader tomorrow. It'll be 78 by first pitch. And if you're coming on Sunday for the game against Southeast Louisiana, we'll be sitting at around 70. So make sure you're staying hydrated and make sure you bring the sunscreen if you're coming out here. And Chris, Hunter, I'm going to send it back to you guys because I want to watch some softball. Guys?
Thanks, Culture. Welcome back to Big Friday Sports. After Joe Castiglione announced his intention to retire this year, the Sooners have found their new athletic director. OU Nightly sports reporter Darby McCormick has more on Roger Denny.
There's a new athletic director in Sooner Nation, and his name is Roger Denny. And it's a job title that hasn't been open for the last 30 years.
That's not a big deal. 26 national championships, 117 conference championships, a little more than half of all of the national championships in our 135-year history were under this man's tutelage. Don't sweat that.
But as the baton is passed, it's during a time of change in college athletics.
There is no staying where you are. The fact that we've been blue bloods for a very long time does not matter. Today needs something else. We have to earn our keep today, just as they did before.
But that change is where Denny learned to thrive as a deputy AD at Illinois.
He's never known anything different while operating at the college level than the environment we're in today.
You found him before he even had the sports experience, and you had the courage to bring him into Illinois, and I think it's been transformative for your organization. I expect it to be just as transformative for ours.
And those skills are what made the selection committee dive in on Denny.
He filled those job description criteria better than anybody we saw.
And it was his unconventional journey to being AD that got him that criteria.
Spent 15 years training for this job without knowing I was training for it. Loved the practice of law, loved my partners, loved what I was doing. But as you may have heard me saying there, just never felt the fulfillment and satisfaction, no matter how many boxes I checked.
From the law firm all the way to Norman, Oklahoma, Roger Denny does not shy away from his unconventional path of becoming athletic director, but it's from that journey that he's learned what it means to win, or according to OU President Joseph Harris, have that dog mentality.
I was like, I know you have the talent. Sounds like you're wise and credible, but I got to know you're a dog.
the answer is I'm not willing to accept anything but going out and winning, and that all-out commitment and just the unwillingness to accept anything but the absolute best. I haven't shied away at all from conversations about dynasties. I think that's what Oklahoma deserves. And I think that's what we're going to go get. And so I think more than anything, it's the unwillingness to offer any conditions to success. We are absolutely here to build dynasties, and I'm not going to shy away from that.
And with an answer like that, it seems that OU has found Mr. Right.
I can tell you in Roger Denny, I know he's that guy.
Darby McCormick, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Darby. The Sooners are taking the NFL Combine by storm. R. Mason Thomas only participated in the 40-yard dash, and he ran a 4.67 with a 10-yard split of 1.63, while Owen Heineke ran a 4.62 and also had a 7.15-second three-cone drill with a 9'11" broad jump. The tight ends and defensive backs are participating today, where Jaron Kanak and Robert Spears-Jennings are trying to prove why they deserve to get drafted.
On to the defending champs. After missing the last 9 games due to an abdominal strain, Thunder MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is cleared to return tonight in Oklahoma City against the Denver Nuggets in the second of 4 regular season matchups. Last time out versus the Nuggets, SGA dropped 34 points with 13 assists. The Thunder currently hold a 1.5 game lead in the West over the San Antonio Spurs, while Denver holds the 4 seed 7.5 games back of the Thunder. This very well could be a preview of another classic playoff series.
Austin Reeves and the Lakers traveled to the desert for a face-off against the Phoenix Suns. In a back-and-forth game with a minute remaining in the fourth, Reeves hit a game-tying 3. However, Phoenix's Royce O'Neal hit a go-ahead 3 with just under 2 seconds remaining. Reeves responds with 3 of his own, but bangs it off the iron. Suns win 113-110.
And top-ranked OU women's gymnastics hosts yet another top 25 matchup as they welcome 15th-ranked Auburn to Norman. With a win tonight, the Sooners will clinch the outright SEC regular season title, which would mark their second conference title in 2 seasons, as OU shared it with LSU last year. The meet starts at 6:30.
And after a brief break for the Winter Cup, OU men's gymnastics is back in action against Nebraska tomorrow. The Sooners already defeated the Cornhuskers by nearly 8.5 points earlier this season, and they are 24-2 against them since 2000. The meet is scheduled to start at 6 o'clock on ESPN+.
And on to other OU sports. Competing over the weekend, men's and women's track will be in action in the SEC Indoor Championships at Texas A&M. And men's tennis continues conference play as they host Vanderbilt today before heading to Rocky Top, Tennessee on Sunday. That's all the time we have for Big Friday Sports. For Chris Holman, I'm Hunter Cornejo.
Thanks for watching OU Nightly. Be sure to tune in weekdays live at 4:30. Good night.